main function, right? One is it works for the safety of the battery and makes the overall system more reliable. Now, when you talk about the safety, so what are the area that it works for safety purposes? It look for the overcharge condition. It looks for the safety of undercharge condition. It looks for the safety of over voltage condition, under voltage condition. Then again, there is a thermal runaway problem when the ambient temperature scale, the battery reaches above the ambient temperature scale. So what happens? The thermal runaway is there. So the battery management system looks for all the faults conditions and makes the system more reliable. When all the faulty conditions are full means cross-checked, obviously the system will be reliable. The life cycle of the battery will be increased. So these are the two basic functions: safety and to make the system reliable. And if I draw the black box of this battery management system, like sir has already indicated. So the battery management system basically sends three parameters, that is voltage, current, and temperature. So it's runs algorithm with these three parameters, and we have four output parameters to look for that are the SOC, that is the state of charge. Basically, this SOC is the state that is indicating how much what is the status of your battery. Like for example, in mobile phone, your battery is indicating 70%. That means the 70% capacity is remaining in the battery. So the SOC indicates that only. The next parameter is SOH. That is the state of health. See, the state of health is basically describes how accurate is the life cycle of your battery at certain condition. So that is actually defined by this or deducted from this state of health condition. The next is the SOE, that is the safe operating envelope. Like name suggests, safe operating envelope is basically a threshold band within which we have to operate the battery, so that its life cycle is not deteriorated. There is no faulty conditions, no runaway problem, thermal runaway problem is there. So safe operating envelope is means those the life cycle, or we can say the state of charge and the state of health. These are basically described by this the envelope which is defined basically which defines the maximum charging current as well as the maximum discharging current, and that is the operating safe operating area. So last one is the fault and fault status, that we have to look for the over voltage, under voltage, over thermal limit fault. So with these three parameters, the BMS runs some algorithm, and it's come with these four status that defines the nature of the battery. So one by one, I will try to discuss each. So first one is the before that, uh, how this battery management system basically work. So to understand that, let me draw the schematic. Suppose let's just say I take a battery pack, a lithium ion battery pack. Let's say it is 3s1p. Three cells are in series. So the BMS, what it will do, it will monitor the individual voltage of the cell. Also, it will monitor the overall voltage of this battery. One work of this, sorry. So this BMS will not only monitor the check the status of individual cell, it will check the status of whole battery pack. Apart from this, the BMS will also measure the current, or we can say the charge that is flown during the charging as well as the discharging mode. So for that we have a current sensor. And like sir already told, it can be a shunt or Hall effect sensor. Apart from this, it also has one master disconnect switch. Or we can also term this as solid state switch. The purpose of this switch is during any faulty condition, it disconnects the battery from the load side. And here we connect the external environment. It can be the motor controller for electric vehicle. It can be solar power inverters. It can be DC to DC converter. Can be in DC to DC converter. It can be buck boost. Talking about isolated, it can be flyback, forward, half bridge, full bridge. So load. Apart from this, charger circuit can also be example of this external load. So this is this basic complete schematic of this how this BMS system communicate with the as well with the external load and the battery system, battery cells. So next we come to the BMS safety and fault management system. Now we already know BMS, the battery management system will check for the temperature, the current and the voltage. But how it works, to understand that, let me plot there is a region in the voltage versus temperature plot. That is, suppose let's say it is safe operating area. Suppose this temperature is let us say it's minus 20 degrees Celsius. This temperature is 55 degrees Celsius. This let's say for lithium-ion battery system, this is 4.2 volt per cell, and this lower range is 2.5 volt per cell. So the safe operating area is basically defined for individual cells in which this battery is operating efficiently without any deterioration. For example, if suppose my working region is this, I'm operating beyond the permissible voltage range. So this region will be the overcharge region. So in overcharge region, what will happen? The battery or cells will no longer can hold the charge capacity. They can hold the charge, and what will happen? Excess of charge will lead to fire or battery damage. If now come towards now, the temperature, our working environment, or we can say the battery is working beyond the permissible temperature limit. So this is the over temperature limit. Here what will happen? Due to the excessive temperature, there is chances of thermal runaway. It can melt the electrolytes present in these cells. If we come to this side, now the environment is below the safe operating temperature. It's extreme cold. or we can say that it's under temperature region. So in the extreme cold condition, the electrochemical property that is responsible for uh, flowing the charge from anode to cathode or vice versa in a cell, so that principle will not happen and charge will be unable to move. So battery will not work efficiently. If our battery is working in this region, that is below the uh, permissible voltage value, so what will here happen? This is basically the state of over discharge or undercharge. So here what will happen? The load is not sufficient enough, or we can say that this region in this region there is a possibility of dendritic growth. In dendritic growth, what happens? A very tiny or micro filaments of conductors that resides across the cell plates. So what will happen if this the excessive deposits uh, kept on happening? So it will short the path between the two cells. So what will happen again if we operate after this state? If you operate under the charge condition, due to the short the conducting path between the two plates, it will be shorted, and again overcharge current will flow, again excessive temperature will be there, again thermal runaway will be there. So this SOA is describing the safe operating area with respect to the voltage as well as the temperature. So our main focus will be to operate our battery pack or the system within this safe operating area. So there is so for every boundary there is a threshold value. There is another envelope in this safe operating area. So that will this envelope thickness, maybe it can be let's say 400 millivolt to 200 millivolt scale, and this side can be 5 degrees Celsius to 10 degrees Celsius scale. So when the system reaches here, it will give signal for the over voltage fault. The algorithm will run in the battery management system in such a way it will give the signal to the system, that is the over voltage is being, the battery is working in the over voltage, and it will give signal to the contactor that so that it can be from the lower, or the battery will be disconnected. So if the our working region reaches this scale, this range, so it will generate a fault of under temperature, also described by UT. And if the system is working here, if it reaches to this threshold value, it will give the signal for under voltage, and for here it will give signal for the over temperature fault. All right. So main purpose of this BMS system is not to monitor the overall cell pack, but for the individual cells also. I will take the example again for the suppose we have lithium ion battery pack. Let's just say this is 3.65 volt, this is 3.67 volt, this is 3.81 volt. So if suppose thermal means overheating is happening in this battery, so it will not only disconnect, it will disconnect the overall system, not just for the single cell. So the BMS has to check for each and every cell, not just for the overall battery pack. Excuse me. In the same case, how it works? Suppose I have a motor controller and my BMS system, and uh, the disconnector or the disconnector relay or the solid state switch. Under any fault condition, the algorithm will run in such a way that this switch will disconnect from this load. Or in case of suppose regenerative braking, suppose our motor is running in a regenerative mode. So if that generating of charge is not falling under this SOA, safe operating area, it will again, this switch will disconnect for this load to this battery. So next we come to the calculation. Calculating the state of charge, that is the SOC. So SOC is basically defined by the capacity remaining in the battery by the total capacity. Total capacity of the battery pack. Let's just say now by capacity I mean the amount of charge. Now, let's just say we have initially we have 100 ampere hour capacity, and the capacity remaining now is 70 ampere hour. So the SOC, that is the state of charge, will be 70% of the initial capacity. So this the state of charge capacity just describes the amount of the capacity remaining or amount of charge that is remaining in the battery. So its unit is taken in ampere hour, not in energy. And it is very important to understand this. Yeah. To understand this, let us draw a plot of voltage versus the ampere hour decay. See, so for lithium ion battery, the discharging of voltage will somehow look like this, right? So this is, let's just say 4.2 volt, and at the discharge time, let's just say that is 2.5 volt. So let me redraw it. The curve will somehow look like this. So let's just say I have taken a point of 50% SOC, right? So if you see from here, suppose this area is quite different from this area. By SOC, I mean ki amount of charge. At 50% SOC, I means ki the amount of charge before and amount of charge after 50% capacity. The capacity should be same, but it is not due to the voltage, or we can say the energy present up to the 50% and the energy present before 50% discharge, they are not same. And to understand this, we have one more parameter. See, that this is SOC for charging, for capacity. And to count for energy, we go for one more parameter, another parameter, that is SOCE, that is for energy. See, so let's say 42% SOC is equivalent to 50% SOCE. That is the energy capacity 50% energy capacity is reached at the 42% charge capacity. Suppose this one for electric vehicle application, for one complete charge 200 miles, after 42% discharge, we have delivered the 50% energy. So both are the different, SOC and SOCE. Now, how to calculate the charge? What charge has flown? How to calculate that? So we go for the Coulomb counting. I will not take much time. So this is battery management system, and we have shunt sensors to look for the current flown. So if we draw the curve, see, we have, for this example, we have 70% SOC. That means 30% charge has been flown. And that how we calculate that 30% charge? By the Coulomb's count. So suppose this is that is the current flown from the battery. If we draw the curve with respect to time, so Coulomb count, how it works? Basically, it takes small time strip integral patterns. And it do the summation, and complete summation will give the ampere hour discharge from the battery. See, there for this there is one drawback, that for current sensors it has drift in the integration error. You may not get the perfect alignment with the peak values. So for that, we look for the open circuit voltage. So in open circuit voltage, suppose we have a plot of voltage versus DOD, where DOD is the depth of discharge, and this DOD is inverse of the SOC. Like in the example we have taken, it has the battery has 70% SOC, so that means DOD will be 30%. So let's just say we have 30% DOD, here we have 70% DOD, and here we have 100% DOD. So the BMS system will look for will track the voltage, the open circuit voltage available for this 30% DOD. It will run its algorithm for this current, and with that it will count the Coulomb. It will count the amount of charge flown in a strip. Now, it's quite complex. It's very complex process, but not means it's not that difficult to count. So we have to look for this open circuit voltage, as well as with this open circuit voltage we count the Coulomb strip, and we calculate the amount of charge that is being flown from the battery. So next I am coming to the the parameter was state of health, that is SOH. So basically SOH is total capacity of battery pack divided by the beginning of life capacity. Again, unit is in ampere hour. So initially let's assume the beginning of life cycle is 100%. So after a certain amount of life cycles, after a certain amount of charging cycles, let's just say 300 or 400, what is the status of what is the capacity remaining of this battery pack? So that is given by this SOH. To understand this, I will take the example that Ashok sir has taken. Suppose this is the capacity, this axis is capacity, and this is the cycle. So let's say 100, 200, 600, and so on. So initially, let's say the capacity of the battery system was 50 ampere hour. After suppose let's say 20 cycles, 20 charge cycles, the capacity remains is 47 ampere hour. After again few more cycles, let's say at the 600 charge cycles, the capacity is 44 ampere hour. So this is how the capacity of the battery or the battery of cell is degrading with the charge cycles, the amount of times the cell has been charged. Excuse me. So sorry for that interruption. So I was saying this is how the graph is plotted. The capacity is deteriorating with respect to the number of cycles. So this after certain amount of charge cycle, what is the capacity that is basically given by this SOH. So in this, there is one more parameter, that is the SOH impedance. This is basically the graph which I plotted is SOH capacity. So SOH impedance basically is the resistance that is offered by the battery. Suppose let's just say we have a lithium-ion battery and its effective series resistance there, and some potential across this cell is we have. So initially, suppose the effective series resistance was 20 milliohm. So after certain amount of charge cycle, this resistance will increase, and if we draw its plot, it somehow look like this. So this curve, I can denote it as impedance growth. So with the number of charge cycles, what is happening? The capacity is deteriorating, and the impedance, the resistance offered by the battery is increasing. So to understand it better, I will take one example. Suppose for any electric vehicle, if you have to calculate what is the estimated range after a certain amount of charge cycle. Suppose the vehicular battery SOC is given to be 70%. The vehicular state of health capacity is given to be 80%, and total beginning of life capacity is, suppose it is for one complete charge, it is running for 200 miles, right? So after 80% SOH capacity, the current maximum range. Okay. Initially, we have taken the beginning of life range as 200 miles, and after 80% deterioration, what will be the current maximum range? It will be 80% of this 200, that is 160 miles. And if we have to calculate what is the remaining state of charge for this. So we will calculate by the 70% of this 160 miles, and we can calculate what is the status of this battery for that electric vehicle. And to see for the how to check for the cooling performance, or to check for the thermal performance, let's just say at the beginning of life thermal limit. For the, we are taking same example, beginning of life thermal limit. Let's just say it is 10 minutes. So after suppose 50 or 60 charge cycle, let's just say after 50 or 60 charge cycle, the impedance growth or that SOH impedance value is 50%. So new thermal limit will be 50% of this, that is the 5 minute. So this is how we calculate the status of battery after the number of amounts of charge cycles. What is the means thermal performance limit? What is the estimated range? And now, right? So how to measure this temperature? We have, I think, already seen in the slides with the help of thermocouple, thermistor, and in thermistor again we go for the voltage divider circuit. So, and current is again measured by the Hall effect sensors. Then shunt sensors are there. So one last topic is there. I think rest of the portion has already been covered by Ashok sir. So last is the SOE, that is the safe operating envelope. So this SOE basically describe the limit for charge or discharge value for current. Let's say, or we can say, let's just say any vehicular electric vehicle is there, and it is allowed to charge only up to 50 ampere, and it is allowed to discharge only up to 150 ampere. So this safe operating envelope will describe this, will run algorithm in such a way that if the current value reaches above or below, above this limit, it will give signal to the relay or the contactor, and it will disconnect from the system bed load. So to understand it more in a better way, let's just say I draw a plot between current and time. So suppose this is the 10 ampere. This is for this describes the limit for maximum charge curve. And suppose I'm taking the negative current. This defines the limit for maximum discharge current, right? So suppose overall current that is flowing in the system is somehow like this. So at any point, suppose the current is going beyond this maximum charge limit, or maximum the envelope that we have drawn. If the charging current is going beyond this, so at this point, what will happen? The BMS will send signal to the contactor, and the switch will open, and the battery or the electric motor will be disconnected from the battery, and the system will be saved from any fault. So this envelope, that is the safe operating envelope, is basically is built so that the battery works in a efficient and suitable environment. Other benefits, if we see for the other benefits of this SOE, so it looks for the fault, it works for the fault avoidance, and it helps to increase the lifetime of the battery pack.
Do we have
So
any
I guess yes. We have already reached the time limit that we have given to the participant, so I won't take much time. So if you have any questions, you please ask. Ashok sir is also here.